You already sharing your screen? Perfect.
Yeah, I got a few. So here is something that I've been finding is the locally relevant photograph. It's just something that I can't move off of because I mean, not only is this particular ad here, I'll show you the results on this one here. This guy's bringing in, $2 leads, 80 cent emails in an area of California that is, I think the median is about 900,000, almost $1 million there. So $2 leads, which has been working really well. And I love the comments too,
I
right? Like if you read some of the
was
comments,
literally just getting ready to call you.
this individual here said, that is what
Yes.
the view is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can you
How are
Marcus,
you?
can you mute yourself if you're
Good.
not talking? Excuse me, everybody. Mute yourself if you're not talking. I really
Yeah, I
appreciate
saw
that.
that. I was literally just
Ah,
getting ready to call you about that.
Who's that? Marcus White. You got to mute yourself.
You can mute him, I'm
Oh,
sure.
my bad.
Not a problem.
Thanks, brother.
So essentially, yeah, I mean, again, the whole idea as to why this type of imagery is working, I think again, it comes down into that what that comment is. Here's somebody who lives in this area, and their comment was, "That is what my view is, but only from the other side of the shore, essentially, right? Out of my living room." So other people who live in this location are looking at that image, going, "Hey, that's home. That's where we are. That's what works." People are scrolling through social media, not looking for you. Nobody's looking for you to sell their home. That's not why they're here. They have to see something that stops them and makes them pause for a second. Then they're going to read it. Then they're going to take action. And again, this one individual is doing really well. Here's another one that I've been starting to work on. The imagery might need a little bit of massaging still, but we're doing the upgrade downsize, and the downsizing ad for anybody here who's doing that already, it's doing very, very, very well. So now we're trying to do something else that's a play on that, the opposite side. So you can have two lists of people to play against one another. So, is your current home too small for your growing family? Get a list of upsize options in your area. This one's starting to work really well. I've just started running it's been about a week. So wait to see the results on that one. This one here is kind of a collage of homes, and obviously it's a little wordy, so I'm working on the verbiage a little bit to kind of come up with something I like a little bit better, but so far so good, working really well. The general idea again is to speak to buyers who know that if they don't act now, they're going to be missing out on something. And one of the ways that a lot of agents are currently running things is they run their open house, as I'm sure you guys all know, and then they set a date where they're accepting offers, right? So it's no longer, hey, bring your offer and we'll see. It's we're accepting offers on Wednesday. Bring your offer to us by then. So this is the general idea of, hey, if you're looking to buy a home anywhere in our area, things move fast. Start by viewing a list of recently listed homes with an upcoming open house to get a head start on your competition. They click on that. You connect to your website IDX, select open houses or upcoming open houses. Especially you can do the newly listeds. It's a nice little list of properties to send people. And then naturally the upgrade downsize stuff. Again, you can see this one here was a see all available single family pool homes in San Diego County, and this individual here is bringing in about $5 full leads in San Diego County, which again is a fairly pricey point. And then the difference again in for anybody who's doing the upgrade downsize stuff. Again, remember locally relevant imagery that's native to your landscape is by far the most important thing here, right? So as you're looking at this, you have here's kind of more for the West Coast. This one here will be a little bit more, Florida. This particular one is for Hawaii, but you can kind of get the feel for it. And then finally, Arizona. It's the exact same ad. It's the exact same everything. The only difference is the image that was selected is incredibly relevant to the local community, and that to me is one of the most important things.
All right. That's a good. You got another example before I start sharing?
Gibber, I'm sure I can dig up more, but that's what I came with. So.
Okay, perfect. So let me go into some of the things that I've seen, and again, guys, feel free. This is going to be super informal. We're going to make it all about value. Try to hold up your questions till the end, and definitely keep yourself muted. Like I can hear you in the background, like Michelle. I just muted you. Keep yourself muted if you are not asking a question. Use the chat feature if you want us to elaborate a little bit more on the specific ads we're talking about, because we're just going to go like a machine at you. This is not a time to really discuss how to do it and what to do. That's the ad performance review. My goal of this session is to give you as many amazing ad ideas as possible and show you their ad performance. And then if you really like one, we can spend some time in the ad performance class actually helping you build that, if that sounds good for you guys. Just want to get your guys' imagination going and just showing you a little bit what's been working really well out there in the market. Sound good? If that sounds good, give me a thumbs up right now in the chat. Say yes. Is that a yes or a yes? It better be a yes. Because I don't take no for an answer. All right, and keep yourself muted. That'd be awesome. Okay, here we go. So let me share my screen. So I'm going to start with the famous Wendy. Man, in Las Vegas, she came up with something special last year. A lot of you already know about it. I just like to highlight it because, you know, football season's right around the corner. If you're anything like me as a football fan, I'm already keeping tab on all the free agent acquisitions. I'm getting really excited about the season, as are most football fans. You may not be a football fan, okay? I totally understand if you're not. You know, she's using actually the Vegas and the Raider calendars together, the Golden Knights, which is a hockey team. I know Logan could appreciate that. And the Raiders, my team. But at the end of the day, who cares if you're a fan or not? Your customers are, okay? And I'll show you the truth is if you look at this ad performance that Wendy put out there, and all she was doing was essentially, I'll show you the ad itself. Las Vegas Raider, Golden Knights, magnet calendars are here. Send us your address if you want one. That simple. 168 comments, 141 clicks on there. What's badass about that? 8 shares, social relevancy. That's a whole nother thing. When you guys start getting lots of clicks and comments and shares, Facebook loves that, okay? Loves that. It will add into the performance of your ad. It's just like your ad just got some steroids, and it'll continue running indefinitely, especially when there's that type of feedback going on. So what I love about that, it's for her, it was producing 88-cent full phone numbers. And then she had a really cool automation going off in the background, just asking for the address, because guess what? The lead ads, if you guys remember, when someone clicks on it, it automatically captures what? Email, name, phone number. So when I click next and click submit, now she has it. Thanks, you're all set to get your free calendar and homes value. Click here. And then, hey, surprise, surprise, I get to get the address as well. How genius is that? That's just the redirect URL. Okay. So that might get your mind thinking for some other things. I know you're probably thinking right now, and that's Logan. I'm sure, I'm sure people are thinking about that. But keep that in your head, okay? Seller leads, I know you're really interested in. We're going to talk about that. But this is such an easy, high value giveaway, and it's your brand. I mean, I look at Wendy's picture every day on my fridge because it's a magnet, and I use that all the time to see the games. So it's just a simple thought, okay? I don't know where you are and where you're located, but I guarantee you there's something big around you can use. It doesn't have to be a football team. Sound cool? You guys like that? If you like that, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Say yes. If you're not a sports fan, think of something else. But do it anyways. Trust me. Okay. Ad number 2. Talked about this on the mastermind yesterday. And you guys, I'm going to go fast through this. It's recorded, so don't worry. You'll have access to this. And if something really strikes you, use the chat feature. We'll talk about it and pull it up in the next ad performance. Remember, we have an ad performance class every day. It's led either by Troy or Logan. Who is that key right now, Logan? You want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm running, basically I'm doing them 4 days a week. Brandon's doing Tuesdays. I got Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you guys need any help with ads whatsoever, any, questions, comments, concerns, even if you're pretty sure ads are doing well, it's still wise to check in every so often, just get that confirmation. Come in, have a look around. We'll look through your ads, make sure things are doing well. And if they're not, we'll help you make some changes to them. But absolutely come to the ad performance review. It's a fun class to be on.
Troy, I see your beautiful face here too. Feel free to interject at any time when we're talking, because you've got some of the best experience too in some of these classes. So yeah, let us know if you see anything or you want to highlight something that I'm talking about. This is Donna. We talked about these yesterday, Donna Allman. And this ad, she's left on for over $2,000 at this point. It's only $7 a day, but it keeps on going, keeps on generating. This is gonna blow your mind. If you were on the mastermind yesterday, this is gonna really blow your mind. Check out if I had it here, hold on, let me view your ad. Look at the social interaction on this particular ad. What you're about to see here is she has 414 comments and 80 shares. 414 comments. That's 345 freaking likes on that thing. So I get it. This doesn't apply to every single market, but it just shows you if it's hot, it's hot. And this thing is gonna last forever. And there's a reason why she's kept this on. And she's laughing because she's got, I think, 4 transactions that come out of this, and her automations, I went into it, need a lot of work. So that just shows you what they're doing without, good automation, text messages and emails. Imagine if you really solidified that follow-up process with good authentic automations and personal follow-up. That could be pretty awesome. Okay, so just get that in your head, that this is something you could do. It's not, again, ad imagery is 70% of the quadrant of lead generation. 70%. Because all of you need to stop that scroll. And I love that you're all pumped up on video, and everyone asks me, like, why are we not using video, guys? Video, TikTok, video. Hey, video is awesome, but video is for remarketing and retargeting. Static imagery is still the best thing to stop the click. And it's organic and native to your market. That's why you shouldn't be using stock photos. That's why you should be uploading your own photos. You can build stuff like this quite easily in Canva. Yeah? Is that cool?
What was this mastermind yesterday? Or are you saying Wednesday?
What's that?
Is it yesterday or Wednesday? You keep saying yesterday's mastermind.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Wednesday. Sorry, my days are all over the place. I have 4 kids. Gosh, give me a break.
Just want to be sure so no one else thinks they're missing something too.
My days are all over the place. Okay, so and then let's move on. If if you have anything that you want to chat about in there, definitely, we got Logan and Troy here. They can be manning up the chat at the moment, but I'm just gonna keep on showering you with many examples. I like using Janki here because when I look at Janki, I see 2 of the same exact ads. They're, new listing in Fremont, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They've been on forever. And $4,230 spent on one, $4,250 spent on the other, almost identical in their performance on that. But it's just this plain Jane, type of ad. But everybody, I guess, wants to see that, new listing in Fremont, that's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. I'm guaranteeing you this is just pretty generic, and it's just a fast way to get, people looking, right? Hey, if you guys just make sure to mute yourself if you're not, got something to say, just so I don't hear that background noise. But this is just the standard, boring generic ad, and it's working really well. It just shows you, that's in the NorCal market, probably like a 1.3, 1.5 million average home sale there. Maybe more. I don't know. That's crazy out there right now. Okay. Jenifer Salter. Everybody knows Jen. If you've taken her Thinkific course, she's a pretty badass on the video follow-up. This is what's working for her really well right now. What's working about it? Well, it's just a simple buyer ad. See all available homes, first floor, main bedroom in Johnson County. Notice when you're using ads like this, your net, the description, the ad copy, there's the ad imagery that I've discussed. It should be native to your area. But the ad copy, just as important, should be speaking to as many people as you possibly can. As many people as you possibly can. So when you say Johnson County, and then you use something that obviously everybody is probably interested in seeing home, first floor, main bedroom, in this case, it's obviously crushed for her. So how do I know? Well, I always look at the stats. So you just look at your stats, follow the stats. $940 spent on this one, and it's got a $2 average lead, and that's name, phone number, and email.
Yeah, real quick on that one. When you're looking for buyers, that's one of my strongest recommendations is to, you get what you ask for. And if you're asking for generic tire kickers, well, then don't add a price point, location, or amenity. But if you're wanting people who've actually put some thought into what they're looking for, then advertise as such. So that's kind of where it's, first floor master, homes with pools under a particular price. But when you add that additional amenity, I just feel that it's finding people who've considered that. That's what they're looking for. And if they're looking for something in particular, they're actually looking for something rather than, oh, a list of homes in my area. Great, let me click on that. No, no, no. List of homes that have that particular amenity you're looking for, and that's a way to kind of sift through a little bit more of the look you lose and find a little bit more, realistic individual.
Awesome. Okay, I know Logan, this is your favorite. What's your home really worth? Everybody knows the What's Your Home Really Worth ad, and I'll show you different examples, but to this day, it's Lynea's best seller ad, and she just basically took a screenshot of her KV Core, for all you AEXP people, right? KV Core screenshot, you do the quick search. What I like about this, because we talked about ad imagery being so important, organic, native. Well, she dropped that pin probably realistically in the Lake Tapps, Bonnie Lake area, but what she's done is she went to her KV Core, she put in that search, I want homes over X amount of money, right? Logan or Troy, can you mute whoever is that in the background? It's got that, I'm just hearing somebody. So when you zoom, you're basically looking, this is like a 3 to 5 mile radius probably. So it's, of course with Facebook, you have that 15-mile minimum radius, but she's basically said, no, I want this particular area and I want this particular price point. So I'm going to search for that in my KV Core. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I'm going to upload it into the What's Your Home Really Worth funnel. Bob's your uncle, right? Test it out, split it. I did a presentation the other day called the Quadrant of Lead Generation, and it's all about the 4 pillars for your success on ad performance. So we're going to talk about ad imagery as being number 1, 70% of that equation for you. Number 2, it's going to be ad copy, and then it's a combination of that split testing and A/B testing that we always hammer home for you. But the beauty of this funnel for me is that you can A/B test and split this all day because it allows you to just to upload whatever photo you want. And so what you should be doing is whenever you run one of these, split test it, but then A/B test it. And I think Logan's been doing that with you called it 2x2, Logan. Is that what you've been saying?
Yeah, I call it a split A/B test, and essentially it's the idea of instead of doing one ad 3 times, obviously, do one ad 2 times and then something that is materially different, whether it's a different image, different ad copy, something that's in the same kind of vein, but different enough so that you're A/B testing while split testing, so 2 of each. And I've found that to work very well.
Awesome. Number 2, Kim Renshaw loves her horses. If you know Kim, right? Central Coast, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo graduate like myself, and huge on her little niche, right? You guys are all trying to find your little niche out there, in your brand, and she's kind of just crushed this with this. It's just so funny. It's just a picture, I think probably just, on her horse, taking a picture. I don't even know if that's where she got that picture from, but it's something that makes sense to the people that are really looking for that. See all available homes on Acreage in Central Coast of California.
Real quick on this kind of image, you never know until you run it, right? And kind of like I was going to say this about the map imagery. I was going to let that one go, but personally, I'm not loving the map images. However, you don't know if it's going to work until you try it for yourself. You also don't need to run an ad for, weeks on end to know if it's working. So if you try something and within the first 48 hours, you spent, $10, $15, $20 on an ad and it hasn't brought you in the lead flow that we're looking for, get rid of it. I don't care if you look at that, say, hey, this is the best image I've ever used on any ad I've ever run. It doesn't matter. If it's not working, get rid of it. So 24 to 48 hours, test all sorts of different things. This kind of imagery, again, it may work in your area, may not, but to me, it's going to stop a particular cohort of individual. And if that's the kind of person you're looking for, and that's the kind of person that's being attracted, then it's working. So again, really follow those stats, but be willing to test and try all sorts of alternative imagery because you just never know what's going to hit in your area.
Yeah, but Logan, on those, wouldn't you recommend split testing on there, or at least A/B testing it instead of just one ad attempt?
I would absolutely, every single time I'm doing an ad, regardless of what type of imagery I'm running, whether it's buyers, sellers, upgrade, downsize, I do not care. Every single time I run any ad whatsoever, I'm doing at least 2 of them, usually 3, and then I'm going to let them run for, again, 24 hours, then I make my first cut. That's the way I like to do this, is that 72 hours is usually what it's going to take for the algorithm to fully take, and for us to look at that ad and go, okay, I'm confident what it's going to do long term. But if you're doing, say, those 3 ads, you can eliminate as you go. So after, I've spent $5 on each of the ads, do we know enough as to which one's going to win? Certainly not. But if one of the 2 has already found me a few leads, the other one has found me a couple leads, and one hasn't found me anything, let's say we're $5 in, great, well, I'm eliminating one of them. Right? But then I kind of make my cuts as we go until we get to that 72-hour mark. And if I've got one that's still looking good, well, now I'm happy to leave that one running. But again, I don't care what image it is, absolutely split it every single time.
Donna Swanzy. Everybody remember Donna, right? Donna, I went into her dashboard. I'll show you. She's got 12,000 leads. 12,000. You heard right. She's been around for a while. Like, she was like our first famous story. Hundreds of deals that have come from Facebook. What I love about this ad right here, that this has been on since July of 2020. July of 2020. So 102 comments, 23 shares. What's your home really worth? Logan, maybe you helped her to build this one. I don't know, but it's, it's in, you can see it's in the Parker County, Weatherford, Texas, nice little landmark there. And it's crushing.
Well, I'll tell you guys, this is one of the reasons why I would recommend coming to the ads class. I've actually taken over Donna's account about a year ago or so, about 8 months I've been running it now, all of her ads. This is an ad that predates me. This is an ad that before I got in and started running all of her stuff for her, she had this one going. However, when I jumped into the account, this particular ad was bringing in leads at, I believe, $32 a pop. So just nowhere near good enough. We started playing with the budgets because it was one that was worth saving. And I found a couple pretty unique ways of saving old ads to kind of bring that cost back down and then add back to the budget and play around with things. Way too in depth to really dive into right now. But this is one of the reasons, if you guys have an ad, especially an older ad that's been working really well for a long time, and now you're worried that you're going to have to turn it off because it's kind of lost some relevancy, come to the ads class. I'll teach you a couple really quick and easy ways to bring that ad cost back down by manipulating the budget in a particular fashion. And again, this one here, I'm not sure what she's at, but last I checked, I believe it was at about $6 a lead. I'm pretty sure. So all the way from 30 down to 6, and now it's been staying there for months. So yeah, definitely something to look into.
Let's see. She's that has been on for $5,548. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
hey Logan.
Yep.
You said you're running her account for her. Explain to me how that works.
So what we're doing now, Jeff, and you can certainly sign up for it if you like. And it's called the ad autopilot, and it's something that has been in beta for a little while now, and we're slowly kind of putting the application form out there. And it's an additional cost, obviously, per month. So it's not something that I'm personally throwing out there everywhere. It's just more of a kind of a needs by needs basis, and taking over the ad creation and management and all that stuff. We're also obviously with Ravelworks, we're doing something with them as well, where they're doing something similar, but they're also doing the lead follow-up. With the ad autopilot, there's no follow-up. That's not what I'm working on. It's simply the ads and maintaining an appropriate level of cost there. Currently, we're charging $300 a month for that service. So I think it's fairly affordable for what it's currently doing, and something that you and I could certainly discuss after as well, if you like. And the way I look at this for everybody is, before you consider going into something like that, do come to all the free classes and courses and take all those things. Now, Jeff, I know you've been to them all, so you've done your work, you're good. But again, before you invest in another company doing something for you and paying more money, come to and learn all the free stuff. We've got so many ways for you guys to do this yourself, but if you get to a point where the daily management of the ads is just a little bit too much, then I would consider the autopilot. So it's something that we can drop a registration link in here for. You guys can look at it and see. I'll have a separate one-on-one meeting with you guys individually and help you decide if it's the right strategy for you.
So just communicate directly with you if we're interested.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just actually go and put the link in for the autopilot into the chat here, and then you can kind of go into that, and then yeah, we'll just book a one-on-one individually. Before you guys actually sign up for anything, I like to have an in-depth conversation, just make sure it is the right play for you.
Yeah, I
Perfect,
mean,
thanks.
and like Logan was saying, don't do that straight up unless you've been to at least a few of these ad tweak workshops, because that simple fix might be the answer for you, right? That free fix, that free 99, as we like to call it. It's part of your membership package. I think the key is StreetText is incredible for those who actually spend the time to learn what's possible. It's not that set it and forget it program as we probably all wish it was, and that's where there's some autopilot efficiency there for you. But once you kind of get into the groove of understanding what's possible, automations, integrations, eventually VAs and ISAs and all that stuff, yeah, we all want to get to that Janki Patel point, right? But no one wants to see what she did to get there, right? So that's the ticket there. It just doesn't happen overnight. Let's go back to some awesome ads. So this is the ad performance and help review. So I showed you this one. Here's another great one for the what's your home really worth, because again, I know you all love your seller leads. Who doesn't, right? Love this combination. Logan, I'm sure you helped her with this one, hey?
Yeah, I built that one.
So yeah, beautiful, right? Love it. Totally feels like Texas to me. Makes me want to move there right now. But it's cool, right? It's got 2 or 3 different, like a really nice, like, so, the cool thing is when you get a nice combo of that real estate photo that's typical to that area that you really want to be working in, and then you combine that with some nice landscapes like that, maybe those bulls coming into the Fort Worth stockyards, like that is cool. That for me feels like an organic native image that is inviting, and that's the key. You want it to invite them into that click.
So I guess a quick one to Logan, since that's a collage, a lot of the ads we run are either the mapping or single shot. Any recommendations when it comes to something like that?
Yeah, what we can do, maybe what I'll do is this coming Wednesday will be my next custom ads class, and it might be the right time to, we can spend half the class or more in Canva if you guys want, figuring out, I've got a lot of different, Canva honestly is one of the easiest tools you could possibly ever use. I had the pro version, and a lot of times I'd show people on there like, yeah, but you have the pro version. So I actually downgraded to the free version just so that nobody can say, well, you're doing it in pro, because no, it's free. It's super easy. Something like this, literally, sourcing the images takes a couple minutes here and there, but putting it together is ridiculously easy. And as I'll say again, put anything that you wish together. I don't personally like things that look like ads. And when I put the little Fort Worth symbol on this one, I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. So I split A/B tested with and without, and the one that had the symbol actually worked better. It outperformed the other one. So that's one we ran with, and it's still doing really well. So absolutely, I would say sign up to the next custom ads class. We've got a couple different things I'm going to be showing, but certainly Canva is something that I like to kind of go through on that as well.
All right. So, and there's many more. She's also got this one on. You guys all know and probably heard of this at this point. This is the looking to downsize your home, but not your lifestyle. Get a list of beautiful turnkey homes with a smaller footprint, no stairs and less maintenance sent directly to you instantly. I feel like this is working everywhere right now. Is that true, Logan? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, image is everything. So the image of pine trees as comes on the default image didn't line up with her area. So we found an image that just basic, for me, I like the manicured lawn, and I like that the houses look turnkey, because people looking to downsize, they don't want to come in and have to renovate anything is my typical assumption anyways. So I just like something that just looks a little bit more move-in ready. A nice enough image. Something like that should work really well. But yeah, this one here is crushing it. I think she's getting like $3 leads on this one.
Awesome. So the key, guys, is I want you all, I'm just going to go to the discussion in the Insider group right now. And I want you all to do this for me. I want you to go into your ad section, and I want you to post your best ad. And it's going to be hashtag my best ad. I'm going to show you an example. You know, here's Donna Allman. She said, "This is my best ad. It's a rent to own ad. It brings regular buyers to hashtag my best ad." So I want a Command Shift 4 is the way I do it on my computer. I don't know how you guys do your screenshot, but I want you to screenshot the actual ad itself, and you can do that by clicking view my ad on. It doesn't matter if it's a current ad either, guys. It could be an ad that you have active. It could be an old ad, because as we talked about with Logan, we might get that back up for you because he's got some hacks to get that back going. So I want to see the ad and I want to see the analytics. So I want you to take a screenshot of the ad performance on that one too. So there's 2 different pictures, and you're going to post it to the group, and we're going to start a big challenge. We're going to put you in a drawing, and one of you are going to win a free month of StreetText. Okay. Look at Lori Allen has hers up here too, right? This is the one that she ran, a new listing, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Click below to get price, location, and more photos. So you can see if we get all of our examples in here, who knows what we'll come up with. I showed you about a dozen of them. Imagine if we all start posting my best ad, hashtag my best ad, so we can all get ideas. It will create a massive portfolio for you to see and get ideas for. So
I guess my question would be, a ways back when Facebook changed their algorithm, a lot of us had ads that had been running really good, and then all of a sudden they were no longer able to be ran. So would that be something that Logan, you'd be able to go in and kind of look at and try to help us duplicate or whatever to get on there?
Yeah, I mean, if you had ads that worked under the previous algorithm, you know, depending on, of course, when it ran, you know, turning that particular ad back on is likely problematic if it wasn't built under the special housing ad category. But looking through past ads that have worked in the past, there's definitely something that can be pulled forward from that, whether we relaunch ads or we just simply go back through and rebuild them. But absolutely, that's 100% one of the things that I'd be able to help you do.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Sounds like a plan.
So I'm going to write this. Everyone's going to go to their ad section in their StreetText dashboard. Okay, you're going to click on View Ads. And then there's a drop-down menu, just so you know, because you right now are probably in the section of current ads. There's a drop-down menu in your ad section that says Inactive Ads. And the inactive ads will show you the history of all the ads you ever ran. So let's just say you had one in the past that you really loved and you wish you could get it back. Okay, that would be the one. Or just post whatever you got right now, because we all want to encourage one another. So again, I want you to grab that ad, click, and if you guys hopefully know this, I hope you're tech savvy enough now to know how to do a screenshot. I hope this is, you know, fundamentals. Command Shift 4 if you have a Mac. Take a screenshot of the ad itself, and then take a screenshot of the performance, and I'll show you real quickly what it looks like. So this is, if I share my screen. So if I'm in Donna's dashboard right here, look at that, 12,800, almost 13,000. She's almost got 13,000 leads now. So what you're going to want to do is head to the ad section on the left-hand side. And once that pulls up, I guess I can just do it from here too. Yeah, there it is. You're going to click View Your Ad. So just click the View Your Ad button. And so that will pop up. And this, you should always be doing this anyways to see what kind of social interaction you have. Because if you've got 102 comments right here, you better be responding to these people. If you've got 260 likes, I've got every single one of those people by name. Hey, I could be personally messaging every single one of those. I'd be like, hey, thanks for liking my ad. You know what I would be doing? I'd be taking a screenshot of that. And I'd just be plugging that into that Facebook message and like, hey, were you able to get the home value we requested? And like, oh no, I just liked your ad. Oh, hey, that's free. It's complimentary. This is where you start the conversation, guys. Right? This is all about winning friends and influencing people. It's all about connecting social influencers. It's what you got to be. The game has changed from you as a realtor. It's a relationship-based model. You got to be a promoter. You got to be a social influencer. You got to be a marketer. You know, you got to be a networker. You got to be a little bit of everything now these days. Right? You just got to be able to connect with people, like conversations, not selling, serving.
Can I get a quick question, Mark?
Yeah.
So I don't have a Mac. I have a, regular whatever. And so I always use the snipping tool. Do you know if there's another way for Us regular Microsoft people?
You know, you PC people, you like remember that Dell commercial was Dell versus Apple. Oh no, I don't know. I think
Okay.
if you have that snip tool, whatever is easiest for you. Like for me, if I go on my Mac Command Shift 4, it literally allows me to do the circle around it,
Oh, okay.
and just
I think it's
automatically downloads to my computer.
okay.
So what I'd want, it would be this picture, and then with the comments and shares that you got too. And then I want you to be in your ad section, and I want you to take a snapshot too of that ad performance, and then just go to just go straight into the StreetText Insider group. Go to this place right here where you create your own post. You upload these pictures, 1, 2, and you just hashtag right up here. You just go hashtag my best ad, and I guarantee you we're gonna have a ton of those. Because guess what? When you start doing that, it ends up in this topics in the group, and then all you got to go is see all topics, and before you know it, we're going to have a huge portfolio of my best ads there, and everybody can see it at one place, right? Isn't that cool? Because now you all get, like, we have 94 testimonials. Testimonials are awesome. You should read through those because you'll find a lot of people's strategies in the testimonials under the comments. But we start doing stuff like that based on the topics that you guys really want. You'll have all the ammo you really need. And so we can start doing sessions like this all day long with, you know, with a hashtag that you really want to focus on. So at the end of the day, we're all pulling to that hashtag. How's that sound? What's the next hashtag you want? Follow up? Hashtag follow up, right? Because there's so many great follow up ideas.
Can I ask a question totally unrelated to the topic for today?
Yeah, Miriam,
Because
this is
I'm
the
sorry.
Q&A session. This is for everybody. And everyone say hi to Miriam. She's the
Hi, everybody.
gal that we've been
Sorry.
doing ads. So Miriam, tell them real quickly, if anyone doesn't know you, how you got started with StreetText, how you for your 6 months you had nothing, and then all of a sudden where you're at now.
Yes, let me just go to a private place. Hold on.
Awesome.
In my office right now. So, hi, everybody. My name is Miriam. I got my license in beginning of 2020 when everything shut down. So then after June, when everything is like back to normal, I joined StreetText after like spending millions of times on Facebook, internet, YouTube to find the best thing. I was so lucky to find a StreetText on the 7 trials because I had a very tight budget. I didn't work, so my money was like super low for like this kind of advertisement or this kind of classes. On the first during the 7-day trial, I got a lot of leads that I was able to convert one of them. I ended up that one to an amazing listing, and I got a buyer for that listing. So my very first paycheck with real estate was $50,000. It's a StreetText. Then after that, I crushed it. Then yeah, I've been like since then. I've been working with the StreetText leads. I've been doing follow-up, like very intense follow-up with my StreetText until they tell me go away or we listed with someone. I don't drop the phone, or I don't stop my mails or my emails. Yeah, that's about it.
Yes, that is an amazing story. Thanks for sharing. I think we have an article that we wrote that if anyone's interested, Troy, if you have that on hand, Miriam, you kind of go a little bit deeper into your follow-up process there too.
Do you want me to go now?
Oh, no, you don't have to go into it now. What I was going to say is we'll drop that article for everybody because I know Shay wrote that with you, and it's a really good follow-up article that dials in your follow-up plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my question today is that sometimes I get text, I get the response from Julie that they said I'm not interested, or they put some information that I need to send them a response back. But I'm on my phone. I don't have my computer in front of me, and I don't want, at the same time, I don't want to delay responding them. But when I respond them, it's going to be a different phone number from what they received their first text message. What can I do with that? Is there like a StreetText app, or are you planning to do anything like that so we can just respond them like immediately?
You can respond immediately. Actually, it's been made more mobile friendly, so you can log in from your phone into StreetText dashboard, and there's the conversations tab, and you can actually reply as Julie there.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Thank you. So I should just go to like a web browser and then type StreetText and log in.
Exactly. Log in, and then you'll see it's been made mobile friendly. You'll see the conversations tab, and you'll see that response right there, and you can respond as Julie.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Everybody, check out that article right now. Click on that link, save that article. You're gonna get so much from that for your follow up. Trust me. Okay, this is Q&A for you now, guys. So hopefully you got some really good ideas from that, Hall of Fame portfolio. And I challenge you all to do the My Best Ad challenge. Hashtag My Best Ad. I want to see the ad that you have right now, even if it sucks. Okay, guess what? Because if we see what ad you have and it's sucking, then we can maybe give you some feedback on how to make it not suck. Right? Let's be honest. The more you share, the more feedback you get. But if you're kind of sitting in your corner behind your desk and getting frustrated, and you're like, damn it, why is my ad not working and everybody else's isn't? Well, let's give you some feedback on that, or get it to the next ad performance review. But guess what? Like, whether you get $2 leads or $25 leads, like if your follow-up sucks, does it really matter? Let's be honest. Some of you might have to actually get right into the first next thing you do is get into that role play session with Gabrielle. Pick up the dang phone, as we talk about. You can't just sit back thinking your automations and your email follow-up and your texting. You can't hide behind that all day long, or your follow-up isn't going to be 10x what it could be. Simply pick up the phone. And you guys should all look into something cool that I found recently. It's called Callingly. Not Calendly, but Callingly. Callingly. It's really inexpensive. It's like $45, I think, maybe even cheaper. They have a trial. And it literally, as soon as that phone number lead comes in, it calls you and connects you to that person. Like within 20 seconds. Talk about speed to lead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's so much to respond to these, especially be calling. I have to time block an hour to call all these people back. So how many leads are people actually running that they can successfully get back to all these people? Like, it's a lot.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's all relative. I think you gotta individually ask people. Like, if you're feeling overwhelmed, then just dial back that, whatever you're spending to a manageable one, where maybe it's just a lead a day, because that's all you can handle today.
Oh, okay. I see. So you could run numerous and then just lower your spend and you'll get less.
Yeah.
You could also, if you ran a bunch of them, you could actually see, I don't know. Okay.
I think you're getting,
I
think
didn't
you're on
think
the right
about
point
lowering
here.
my spend.
Yeah, lowering the spend. Like, no one ever said you had to spend $10, $9. We just start there. And every market that's different. Like, if I went and put $10 out in, downtown LA, Beverly Hills, like, I probably get a lead every other day. You know what I mean?
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe
Right.
every
So
3-4 days.
Yeah.
Well, so you could basically how, if you lowered your budget, you could basically see, like, maybe, and you had like 4, maybe you could see the engagement a little bit better. Like, maybe you could see just comments or likes, and then have trickle in leads, but really, and then you could kind of narrow it down. I don't know.
Yeah, the budget is actually a key strategy especially for people who are feeling overwhelmed. We see it all the time when people first start with StreetText. They suddenly, boom, you have this flood of leads. They're not sure what to do. They don't have a system in place yet. It's like, especially if you're in an area where you can like generate really low cost leads. I had a client that was getting 10-cent leads in New Brunswick, right? Jeff is like, how do you do that? But average home price is 200K in New Brunswick. So, but what you're going to do is you're going to look at what your cost per lead is, and then you look at your budget for the day, right? So if you have a $4 lead cost per lead, for instance, and you have a $12 budget for the day, you're going to get 3 leads per day, right? So
Amazing how that math works.
it's amazing, right? So look at that and go, okay, well, how many leads can I comfortably handle per day? And then adjust your budget accordingly, right? If you want more, if you want to open the floodgates and you want tons and tons of leads, you're like, I want 10, 20, 30 per day. then adjust your budget accordingly, right? So it's basically, the best way you can describe it is that's like turning the faucet up or down, right? It's either a trickle or it's like full flow. Now, just a cautionary, when you go to adjust your budget, don't adjust it more than 25% per every 24 hours. Okay, if you do a larger adjustment than that, then what it does is it resets the ad, and which will also reset the audience, and that will definitely affect your ad performance. So you just make small adjustments. So if you're like at $9 and you want to get up to 15, go in there, first day adjust it by $2, so up to 12, and then the next day another $2 adjustment up to 13, and then onwards, right? So you just make small adjustments to get to where you want to be, but you are in full control of the lead flow. And there's also nothing wrong too with pausing the ad, get your feet underneath you, get your system in place, and then turn it back on. Just don't pause it for more than 72 hours or it will reset the ad's performance. But basically when you're feeling, I mean, we always say, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's probably because you just don't have a system in place. So take a deep breath, get a system in place, and think about it, right?
Right. So I just went on vacation for 2 weeks. I paused everything. I came back. What you're saying is those, and I was like trying to see, I like that ad, but I don't, so you can't go back and use an old ad with the same metrics because it stopped. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you unpause it, there's no guarantee it's going to perform the exact same because it now has a new audience. So in that case, you're actually just better off to create a brand new ad, do another split test, create a brand new ad. You could use the exact same imagery. You can use the exact same template if you want. But now that ad is fresh. It's got a fresh new audience. The metrics are all brand new and fresh. So they're not being mixed in with the old ad. Because that can also be like a mistake. You had an old ad running, you turn it on, now it has a new audience. All the metrics with that new audience are now being mixed in with all the other metrics, right? So now it's like, you have no heads or tails of what's going on, right? So if it's nice and fresh, it's like from day zero, you know exactly what's happening. Away you go.
Thank you.
Troy, maybe you can help people understand, and I'm going to use Jeff since Jeff is the first person I see, and actually it's a really good example. When I first wanted to launch this contest, I was like, hey, let's compete for the lowest cost lead. And then I was like, someone made a point to me, and it was like, you can't do that. That's not fair for, these guys in Orange County. And so Troy is like, well, it's because you have to consider that ROI. You have to consider what that commission looks like for Jeff versus what that commission would look like for, let's just say that New Brunswick person, right, with 10 cents a lead. So quickly help them realize what that looks like, where they get this calculation from. I'll go into Jeff's account here, Troy. And so what would they do?
Well, a big thing, and I love to point this out. So we have on the far left of the image there, you'll see it says, Marcus, you have a really large screen, so it's small on mine. It says the max lead price there, is it 54?
Yeah, $54.
Okay. So that is the max that Jeff would comfortably want to pay to acquire an email. So currently, Jeff, what are you getting for your cost per email? It's 35.
35 bucks on that one.
Okay. So that's what you're kind of looking for. Like I got a lot of people and they're trying to get, and you really should. I mean, you're trying to get the lowest cost per email that you possibly can. On average across North America, it's roughly just under $7 for cost per email. It's going to vary from market to market. But what I like to point out is we're doing a little calculation for you going, okay, what's the maximum you could possibly spend to acquire an email in your market based on your average commission and still register positive ROI, right? This little calculation is based on that we're trying to get you at least 5 times return on investment. And based off of an average, very conservative 1.5% conversion rate. Okay. So you can tweak that at any time in your account there on any of your ads. You can do it in your profile, actually. You can actually, or in your settings, you can adjust your average commission and it does it across everything. But you can also do it per ad here. So you can click on that little, yeah, exactly. So you click on that little wrench and then you can change what your average commission is in your market. And then that will adjust that number. The reason I like to point that out is it just gives you an idea of the wiggle room that you have. You still want to have a low cost per lead no matter what, but some people will be panicking. Let's say your maximum cost per email in your market is $20. Okay, and you're sitting at a $5 and all of a sudden it rises up to $8. Well, you've still got $12 to go. Now, do I want you to get to the full maximum? No, absolutely not. And usually a rule of thumb I tell people is that if you get about halfway, you probably want to be considering doing another split test and finding a better performing ad at that point. But do realize that you do have a lot of wiggle room. Now, I wish I don't have it today, and we'll bring it up in the mastermind next week. We're going to talk a little bit more about ROI. This helps you with follow-up. I think, Gabriel, you'll probably like this, but you can actually reverse that calculation. And when you reverse it, you can actually look at what an individual lead is actually worth to you. So you take your basic average commission and you divide it by like 100 leads and all of that. And now let's say it's like, it works out to something like $60 or $100 per lead that comes in. That's the, because that's what it'll eventually make you. So now you consider that. Now you can get really excited every time a lead comes in. Let's say it's $100, right? Every time a lead comes in, you can look at that and go, I just made $100, right? Every time you pick up the phone and you call that lead, you make $100 no matter what they say. They say no to you, you go, thank you very much, you just made me $100, right? It changes your perspective on your follow-up and what can be really exciting about each lead. Sometimes we get so focused on that big check, right? And it takes like 100, 200 leads to actually get to that big check. So if you reverse that and take a look at, okay, what is every single lead worth to me, right? And you get excited about that, it can really change your perspective on your follow-up. So it's something to really consider, and you just go, sweet, I just made another $100. Sweet, I just made another $100, And if they tell you to F off, who cares? Doesn't matter. You still made your check, right?
Such a great mindset there. Great mindset shift. Gabrielle, what do you mean by that? My client's average worth per hour, $1,400.
Well, exactly what he's talking about. When you break it down and you are doing the things that you should be doing, not the things your assistant should be doing, your self-value, your worth per hour skyrockets. And when you know this and you see the math and you cannot argue with it, your mindset does a crazy shift, and you start reshifting priorities, activities, like you start to value more each lead. Like every single lead you get, you're like, okay, I got to make this happen, because it's all contributing to that hourly worth, that hourly value, or the value per lead, and everybody can do it. Everybody. It's just part of it is tracking numbers, which most people avoid. I know it's, for some people it comes natural, for some people it's harder or confusing, but if you just start small, if you just truly start small, like track one thing, like, let's just say contacts to appointments. If you just track that one thing, it will start to make sense and ripple into because you'll start to wonder like, oh, okay, so that's my ratio there. I wonder what this ratio is. And you start tracking that, and then you start tracking. So most of the time when people get into programs or whatever, and they go, okay, track your numbers, and they throw this really, really complex, either software, or they say, okay, I want you to track contacts, leads, appointments, contracts, closings, income, and you just kind of get overwhelmed. But if you just start small, it will naturally make sense to you as you go. You don't need to go all in day one. So absolutely, worth per hour, worth per lead. It's a real thing, and it's way more important than most people want to think.
When you guys do that ROI thing next week, could you also go in and break it down a little different? I know people go, oh, lifetime I paid this much. All together I've paid this, here it is per lead, but the metrics work a little different. I see a lot of people a lot of times asking confusion, what's the rest of those numbers mean? And so it would probably help make a lot of sense, or more sense to people. I'm with you, Jeff. It'd make a lot of sense to people if they see that, because I sat there, I got ads running in Houston. They don't compare to what I run here in Tacoma. And I look at the thing like, whoa, 30 something dollars for a lead. But then I look at what's hitting into my dashboard from these guys. And after I looked through the rest of the numbers, the famous words, it made sense why initially I was paying more. But I know a lot of times people only look at two numbers in there for what I've spent and how much it says this lead is right now. And they don't get the whole dynamics of what the lead really costs to get.
Yeah, so you're talking about more like the other metrics that are in there. So your reach, your lifetime, but yeah, we can talk about those for sure. Also, Logan's going to touch on the different markets, right? So the ROI, so Jeff is a prime example, right? He's in the Orange County area, very competitive, just hotbed for advertising in general, but he's also dealing with price points that are much higher, right? Versus, like I just mentioned, New Brunswick, where it's a $200,000 home average price. Jeff's over $1 million. So commission to commission, yeah, it's going to cost me a whole lot less in New Brunswick to generate leads, but I'm also making less commission per lead that's in there. So it always averages out across different things. And that's why, and there really is, like I tell people, there's single-handedly is no other place I can actually point you. Here's my investment advice. Investing in yourself, investing in leads has the greatest return on investment out of anything I've ever seen in the financial world. But you have to work those leads. That's
yeah, Troy, and that's a great point. I mean, I cringe when I see how little some of these people are paying for their ads. But then I have to reel it back down and understand that my average StreetText commission has been 20,000 plus per deal. So all of a sudden it brings it back into perspective a lot more. So it's deceiving for a lot of us to look at, people paying $2, $2.20 per ad, and I'm paying 10 times that. But you have to reflect back on the fact that, yeah, my ROI is 10 plus that. So it all comes out.
Yeah, my favorite was somebody, they're like, hey, Troy, these are super cheap, but they're all mobile parks. So if I sell them, I can only afford a 6-pack of beer. So it is what it is.
Gabrielle, you got something?
Yeah, I just want to kind of add to what you guys are talking about. When I see a lot of people, I coach people all over the country. So some of them are in lower price, some of them are in higher priced areas. And I always talk units, right? People sometimes they want to talk volume, like, oh, I did this many millions. I go, yeah, but how many units did you sell? 2? Okay, well, you live in Beverly Hills. That makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is, like, when you build the right support team and you have the right systems in place, then you can start to convert way more business like a production line. So then you kind of move away from like, how many deals did I close versus pulling back and looking at the big picture, the macro picture of the business itself. And you start to be not so concerned with like, oh, is it a mobile home or is it a mansion? You're more concerned with the bottom line profit, right? And that's really what it comes down to. So whether you're in a lower price market than some others or a higher price market, if you just focus on building the system to allow you to not just to do more deals and have that production line, but to have a like life balance, like doing more doesn't mean working more. And I think StreetText, it's a solution to a big problem most people have is I don't have enough people to talk to. Boom, set it, forget it, and then start working on building your systems so that you can have that self-sustaining business, you know, with the right people in place, with the managers, with the marketing people, with the ISAs, all that stuff. And it's possible for everyone. So I was thinking about that as you guys are talking, and I wanted to just throw it out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off script for a minute, but only because you brought this up, Gabriel. I just posted something in the chat, and I kind of laughed because, like I said, I don't coach, I train. I train my folks. We don't say units, because the problem is you turn around and you get that ingrained as a habit talking units. I sat down and got a listing behind the guy because he turned around and called the people's house a unit, and at that point it wasn't personal enough. So when this guy's going, well, I sold 30-something units last year. Leon sold 30-something houses. Or
Yeah, I'm talking like I'm talking like when you're talking about your numbers to your trainer or to your coach or here in the StreetText, you know, like when you're with your clients, you definitely want to use the language that Leon is talking about. I 100% agree with that.
But I say, you know, when I say creatures of habits, I say houses all the time, because if you say units as well, back and forth, you're going to say it at the wrong time. And I mean, you know, there's more than one right way, but I just kind of group feel however it is, cautious in what you say, because you're dealing with people's lives on a personal basis, and it's too easy to slip in and out of something.
I agree. And I say take it one step further, like Jeff was talking about. Instead of houses, he's talking about homes, right? Because that's where that's where it becomes emotional for that person. And I will encourage you in this business, especially with these seller leads, get to that emotional conversation, because it's the memories that they want to tell you about. It's those memories in that home that they love to tell people about. And that's the hardest thing for them to let go of, right? To sell that house. So if you can really speak to that somehow, yeah, that's where you're going to have that conversation early and often. And, you know, that's what's going to make you unique and different to those who just say, have you done any updates or renovations that I should be aware of? Like everybody says, right? Well, why does everyone struggle with lead conversion? Because they're all saying the same thing, and it's not hitting anybody emotionally to the heart of it all. It's just like every other agent, and you're going to be like every other agent until you start shifting. This is why the Krista Mayshore crew does so well, because they truly understand that it's all about brand recognition. You know, by the way, save the date for March 31st. That is when we're doing that HomeBot webinar. And we're going to get Lynea Carver on with her lender. Now, Lynea, what's special about her is she went into our StreetText automations, and she's personally put videos into about a dozen of those for the 9 months. Really effective, like amazing personality, educational, fun, you know, not just real estate stuff. And her HomeBot, similarly, she puts people into HomeBot, but there's videos with every part of that HomeBot that are being that's a part of that experience. So when they're looking through their HomeBot report, they're getting that Lynea experience as she's explaining each part of the feature of that HomeBot. So there's probably, I would say, you know, 24 plus video touch points throughout that process. Like, and most of you, you know, you're struggling to get that one in, right? You're asking yourself, well, why are they not talking to me? But what made yourself memorable, right? Where are they developing that know, like, trust model with you? How are you any different than any other newsletter and or, you know, email in their inbox? So that's just something to consider as you're thinking about the long-term nurturing of these leads. March 31st.
One thing we always have to remember, and especially now, we're in what I call a reawakening period, and I hope it's a good thing and not a rush back to a bad thing. But people sit here and the personalization about our lives. So if I have a funny moment, even if I'm the butt of the joke, I'm going to do that, because the person that can laugh at their self can easily laugh with others. So when you say videos of what works, it's the same as split testing the ads. Throw something out there, they either like it or they don't. But the only thing wrong is they've done nothing at all.
Yep.
It's well said. Well, and with that said, remarketing, retargeting is a huge topic right now, right? And so I know everybody wants it. It's happening. Steve's like this close to releasing it. So, and I know Lynea is using it right now herself. So you've got your automations going. You got those personal, like, real authentic videos within those automations, both inside of StreetText as well as whatever, you know, systems you're using, your CRMs, you know, whether it be Follow Boss, Line Desk, you name it. And then you've got the home bot opportunity that you guys are going to learn on the 31st. And then you got the retargeting too. And that's where video is awesome and helpful, because you've got all those points already established. People see you everywhere. They understand, like they feel that experience. And then the retargeting happens. And then before you know it, like if they think real estate, it's that person all day long. It's because your brand, your recognition, your personality has now hit home, and they will forever think of you as the agent. And that's the key. That's the ticket that you want to really focus on.
Retargeting is the monster, because with some people who aren't really into Facebook metrics or whatever, you're only sending it out to people already in your system. So once again, it's a touchback on what you already have for leads in your system. Those are some of the cheapest ads you'll also run as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys. It's past the hour. I know we said 30, but you know, like all these, they always go longer. And so if there's anything that comes out of it, please send me a message, post it to the Insider group, but do this for me because I really want this to be a fun contest, and not just a contest, but just more as a portfolio for you guys. Find that ad in your ad section. All right. It doesn't matter what it is right now, even if it's a bad ad, right? Like I said, because we'll tell you like, hey man, this is what you could do. This is some ideas, you know, work with Logan on this. But I want to see the ad itself, and I want to see a snapshot of the performance, and I want you to put in on that description, hashtag my best ad. That's it. That's all I'm asking for you. Can everybody do that?